Hi guys, this is Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge, and it's Wee Wednesday again. We've got a knife from Sanrenmu. Yes, I said knife, but this looks like a key. Well, it's a key that has a penknife inside. By Sanrenmu, this is the 4113 SUX-MC, what? SB. It's the Sanrenmu 4113 SUX-SB. It's the Sanrenmu 4113 SUX-SB for Super Bravo. Nah, I don't know. Who knows what the letters are for? It's a very interesting little device, knife, and it's actually very usable because your fingers can get behind that handle right there, like that. And then your other finger comes back here, and it actually works very well to hold this knife and cut with it. It's actually quite comfortable, surprisingly comfortable for its shape. Add it to your keychain. You know, unless somebody looks close, they're never going to know. And it's just going to be there, ready for you to use at a moment's notice. And it works for all your basic, really simple EDC stuff, package opening, stuff like that. You can even get through a seatbelt if you need to with this. And that's what we want to look at today. So stick around for the full review on the Sanrenmu 4113 SUX-SB. This is indeed a very small knife. It does not come with the key ring. I've added that myself. I like it a lot. It looks very cool. Let's talk about the different features on it and get all those specs and stuff out of the way. It's a slip joint pen knife, hollow grind. We don't know what kind of steel it is. Drop point or pen knife, whatever you want to call it. They even got a little sharpener's choil in there. So it's mostly flat and then a little bit of a belly coming up there. And then the handle is basically two thin keys sandwiched around a back spacer to make a key. Also to make a knife handle. So you've got a pin here, so there's no way to adjust this. If it does come a little bit loose, you take a hammer and you peen the pin a little bit to tighten it up. And I don't think that's going to be a case, though. An issue, I should say. So you've got 3 pins on the handle end, 1 pin on the pivot, and that's all that's required. I actually have a couple of them. Actually, I have 3 of them. And a couple of them I'm giving as stocking stuffers coming Christmas time. Oh, to mention that, this is a really good little something for gifts. It's not that expensive, easy to get, easy to use. Almost anybody would appreciate having it. It's very discreet, so it's not like it's going to be something that, you know, somebody's going to say, oh no, not a knife, that's a scary gift. This is more like a personal care kind of knife. You know, you get knives this size in little personal care kits. Let's talk about the specs on the size of everything. The cutting edge on this knife is 3.6 centimeters. That's at 1.4 inches. 2mm thick blade. That's 0.08 inches. The thickness of the steel behind the grind is 0.41 millimeters. That's 0.016 inches, so it's a little bit thinner than your average EDC knife, and that makes sense because you've got a thin little blade here. And it's designed for smaller, more delicate cutting. The length of the handle here is right around 6 centimeters, which is right around 2.3 inches. The handle thickness here is 4.2 millimeters, 0.16 inches. The total length of this thing when it's open is right around 10 centimeters, which is right around 4 inches. It weighs 18 grams, which is 0.6 of an ounce. Not bad at all. If you want to buy this from GearBest, which is where I got mine, I bought mine for my own money, just to give the video context. $4.26 Canadian for one of these, and then you're going to pay $2.75 shipping. In American dollars, we're talking $3.18 starting off at $2.05 shipping. You buy 2 of these and you're under $2 shipping combined. You know, so the price of shipping goes down a lot. Let's see how well this knife cuts. Straight from the factory. Not straight from the factory. From the factory to the distributor, from the distributor to the vendor, from the vendor to the shipper, from the shipper to Canada Post, from Canada Post to my house. And it cuts like that. It's not a perfect edge, but quite good. This paper is a little bit heavier. You know, cuts very well, if you ask me. Let's try to cut some paracord. Just zips through that, no problem. And it zips through it this way as well. As long as I'm holding it still, I'm not letting it slide out. This is 9-strand paracord, if I can get all 9 strands out of there. So that's good. It cuts well from the factory, from the package when it's new. So what are the pros and the cons of this thing? Well, the pro is it's economical, it's discreet, it's light, it looks good, it's easy to hold, very secure for doing pulling cuts because your finger gets behind there and, you know, that really holds it in place to pull it. You know, you don't want to use it for stabbing motions, of course, but you do have this texture of the key here, which gives you traction so your hand won't slide forward very easily if it stops. What are the cons? I can't really see any cons. I don't mind slip joints at all. Slip joints are all that we had for years. The locking knife in, you know, if you look at life in history, the locking knife is a very new thing, the folding locking knife. For years and years and years, hundreds of years, we had knives that folded that had some kind of slip joint. And we lived through it all, and it's easy to work. They work just fine, and you just take some tiny precautions, and they're safe. You know, even if I bump into this thing, you know, it stops. It doesn't just go flying closed and cut my hand off. It's a very secure system using a slip joint. If you just follow a few basic rules of don't try to cut with the back end of the knife, cut with the knife end that's sharp. And if you're doing that, you're pushing the knife into its seat and it just stays open that way. So cut with the sharp edge and you'll be safe. I know that sounds kind of, the way I said that, it sounds kind of demeaning. Slip joint knives just are not the big deal, not the big problem that a lot of people think they are. I'm sorry, I just had to make fun of the people that just are scared of slip joints. There's some people that don't like slip joints, and that's a legitimate perspective. I'm making fun of the people that are scared of slip joints. If you don't like slip joints, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that are scared of them. They're a very safe joint. You just take a few little precautions and you're fine. The cons I already mentioned, you know, I can't really think of any, and I really like this knife an awful lot. So there you go. It's a very simple thing, works well, looks good. So remember, always subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, comment in the comment section, and then cut towards your chum and not your thumb.